Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. It's a very different cast to what you're used to. Like, usually it is myself and Reese. But today it's myself, Josh, who is now pretty much a co host. And we also have Jack Eagles, who is basically just a way better version of Reese.
Hey
So,
guys.
already we're off to a great start. Thank you, Jack, first of all, for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure, especially because when I messaged you a few months back saying, "Hey, mate, like I've seen on your story you're nearby the gym. Want to pop in?" You completely pied me. So I thought we were just not friends anymore, but then it turns out we still are. So, how are you?
Sorry, mate. I'm very well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be back on my second favourite podcast after board shorts and
Good, but
it's not banter, not bollocks.
yes, come on,
Bollocks
board
is too
shorts and
harsh for you
banter.
boys. Yeah, no, it's a privilege to be back, mate. I appreciate it. I don't know if I'm still the highest performing podcast you've done.
Who told you that?
I don't. I thought I was at one point. If I'm not,
Imagine if this became the highest performing podcast that you've done, and
make it
Reese isn't here.
Yeah, it will. That's
invite
the
my YouTube and I'll collab on the post, and then it'll work.
Oh my god! Oh, lucky Reese, mate. Hope that you're having a great holiday, bro.
yeah.
You can
So
stay there if you want.
for context, guys, Reese is in America, and obviously on Mondays it's been me, Josh, and Reese. So we thought, right, let's get somebody else on, and then I obviously thought, right, let's get Jack on. So Jack, obviously competing this year. I'm not going to make this like a proper interview style. We'll just have a good chat. But like, how are you feeling? Obviously, I saw you at that NPC worldwide seminar thing, and you posed with like Niall and stuff, and you look really good then. I thought condition wise, you were like in a very good spot for where you were. So, look like you've got quite a bit sharper since then as well.
Yeah, so 6.5 weeks, just under. It's Monday today, so basically 7 weeks still till FIBO. So that'll be the first one, and then New York and Pits after to test the waters against I think 3 top 10 Olympians, and then like 6 other Olympians. So that'll be a good show today. Obviously, I'm working with different coaches here as well with Kyle Wilkes now, which has been a very different but good experience off season to prep. Just the whole thing has been fantastic. So yeah, I'm in a good spot. Feeling good. Definitely starting to flag a little bit now. Condition is getting to a good spot. Still like 12 pounds to the weight cap. But again, I will probably start peak week 5-6 pounds over the weight cap, and then just drop down to make it, and then go from there and just trust Kyle and not have to think as I don't know how you do it and coach yourself. Well, actually, I do because you didn't do it very well one year. You were just
Oh,
killing
mate.
yourself for like
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
agree. Yeah, mate.
And
I
I'd
agree.
look horrendous. And I think last year lines were blurred with myself and Tom just because we worked together for 3 years. We had a very good relationship, and he valued my opinion, which is great. Up until I'm in the last few weeks, and my perception's skewed, and I'm like, we need to be leaner, we need to be fuller, and all this shit. And then it became very messy, very stressful, and didn't lead to the greatest of looks. So I think with Carl, it's great. I think I'm a lot more mature as an athlete going through last year and then this year, and experiencing this prep and the things to focus on and things to just not worry about. It's been different and enjoyable, and I think the look will reflect that, which is exciting.
Yeah. I've not seen you as much this year in comparison to last year. Like, I think I've seen you like maybe 4 times throughout the entirety of your prep. I would say like this year you are more cognitively present than what you were last year. At let's say at like 12 weeks out, you were still a little bit dead last year, whereas now, you sat on a podcast with us at fucking 7 weeks out, like you're flying.
Flying is a way to
Flying,
put
mate.
that. Yeah, I think it's just different mindset, different. So I think I never said the pressure got to me, and I never thought it did. And even now, looking back, I don't think it got to me the way you'd think pressure would get at you, being like, oh, so much expectation. I think it just took the fun out of it because I was so worried about trying to live up to the expectation that every single thing was like over-analysing, overdoing it, pushing cardio a little bit more, and more is not better, as we know. You just lose muscle, my legs faded, got injured, and going through all that, then just to bring a worse look after working effectively harder than I needed to, you're just like, what are you doing? I think taking that step back and learning from that has been thrilling. It's kind of like a parallel because I did it in 2022 as well when I went for a pro card in Denmark. I kind of did the same thing that prep where I just pushed it way too much, got like obsessed with suffering, looked like shit, came out the other side, had a really good off season, and then a really good prep into when I then got my pro card. it kind of feels like a reflection of that. I did the shit stuff last year, realisation, reality check, and then this year's been a lot more fluid and enjoyable, and just doing it for the reasons we started. So it's feeling good.
Yeah, I spoke to you at the seminar, and like I think didn't go into it too much with like Tom and everything before, and we don't need to. But like you said, like it almost got to a point where, because you're obviously a very like good coach now as well, and as you grow and as you learn, like realistically, Tom's going to value your opinion more. It's not just like do as I say, do as you're told, because like you're a good athlete, but you're also a good coach. So like it does almost become a bit more difficult where you're like, I'm kind of coaching myself here, but I'm not. Like it's yeah, I agree. I think that's like you almost need just like somebody who you're completely going to just trust them. How is it with Kyle? Like obviously with him being in the States, he's in America, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Jersey. Yeah, I mean, the one thing we are spoilt with in the UK is check and reply time. I have to say, like, the standards we all operate at are fucking ridiculous. Because even when I travel and I'm in America, I find it easier to do UK check-ins because they send it, I wake up, it's there. Because they're behind us, they're 5 hours behind us. I think Carl operates on a weird schedule that he works, like, 9 p.m. to, like, midnight his time, it feels. So, like, I'll send my check-in. Sometimes I won't reply till, like, the next morning when I wake up, I'll get my reply. And then other times, like this morning, when we need to look at like accurate, like he needs to do my reply there and then. So I've got to send it by 5:30 in the morning. But I'm awake anyway, so it's not really that much of a problem. But it has been difficult in that sense. But that's again, it just doesn't make a difference. Like one day of being on the old plan doesn't change. I think that's where last year I'd have been pulling my hair out, stressing out, like why is it not replied? Why is it not replied? What's wrong? And like I'd have been badgering Tom, waiting for it. But this year I was like, well, we'll get to it when he needs to, and be a lot more relaxed with it. Whenever I need a phone call, whenever I text him like urgently, he's straight on it. We do go on the phone every now and then, and I went out to see him and everything like that, and he is coming to FIBO and stuff. So it's not that he doesn't care;
mega.
he's just ridiculously busy. But I think that's the only thing that I've been like, oh, that's where I kind of preferred the UK stuff was that in like check-in at 7, reply by 7:05. But I just don't think that's realistic when you get to
But also, is that just because you were with Tom, and obviously he's going to prioritise you because
yeah, most likely. When you're working with a coach who works with multiple Olympians, it's like
and that's not anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think it's actually positive to me because it makes you want to like they're on a pedestal, and it's like I'm trying to impress him. And I had that the first few years with Tom, and that's on me. I lost that before. I don't know why or at what point, but I think it's a natural progression. I certainly had it with some clients where that line of friendship is blurred, then you're not on the pedestal. They may subconsciously doubt more decisions they would have initially because they don't see you as this. Not saying they have to see you as this almighty being, but it gives you a lot more confidence in them if you do put them on that pedestal. And I think that has been a big change. Like Kyle is like a scary father figure to me. I like it when he fucking works. So no, it's been very good, and obviously slightly different approaches. Bodybuilding, still bodybuilding, eat food, do cardio. For my case, take drugs. You boys miss out on the best part. But the setup's been a little different to anything I've done previously. We've come down a lot slower. Like it's been an 18-week prep, which I've never done in the past, and that's 18 to the first one, let alone the later ones, which are a little bit after. So I think I'm 11 and a bit weeks into prep. Preps prior with Tom, it was like these crazy, like dig down really hard, then 1,000+ gram of carb refeeds and stuff. This time it's not been that. It's been food's been a little bit higher. Cardio's been, I think it's at its highest now, and it's 40 minutes 5 times a week, which is easy. I've just been managing fatigue a lot more. Like I've been told to take more days off of training than what I probably enjoy. But as a result, I'm way bigger, way fuller, body's way more responsive. Then last prep, so I just batter myself and think more and more. Like today, I've been told no cardio, no steps. I'm like 2,000 steps for the day, no training, just literally tissue work. And it's like, I'll give you a high day because you've got legs tomorrow. And I got the text through, and it was like, add 25 grams of rice to your third meal. And that was, I've got like an extra 30 grams of carbs for the day. It was my high day. So that's going to really top me up ready for Hatfield tomorrow. But it's just like, I don't know. There's been times where I've questioned it, but I've just followed it, and then the next morning it's like the exact look and response we wanted. I wasn't dropping weight for a bit, and I was like, we need to dig harder. And he put 600 grams of carbs, refeed in, ate it, and then dropped like 3 pounds the next day. And I would never have. With Tom, I probably would refuse to eat it because I was like, I'm fat, mate, we need to get going. But this year I'm just listening, following it. And I know Carl as a person as well that if I look like shit, he will make a video, put it on Instagram, and be like, look, I fucked up. And that's, I don't think a lot of coaches will do that. So for me, it's just like if I just follow everything he says, I can't really go wrong here. So yeah, it just takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah, I think like obviously it's very different. Like the level that you're at versus the level that I'm at, or even the level that like of the lads that I coach. But it's the same thing, mate. Like I think we were all brought up on this era of JP and like you're a fucking pussy if you don't do like more and more and more. Like and that I think, and again, to be fair, like with JP, that's more like down the training route, not like prep. But still, like, I think that's then been skewed, and everybody's ran with that to the point where like, no, if you are supposed to do cardio and you go, well, actually, I feel a bit fucked today, I'm not going to do it. Nah, you're a pussy, mate, and you're not going to be in shape. It's like actually, you'll probably be in better shape. Like, and that's like what I'm doing this year. Like literally, the other day I had 2 nights of like not great sleep. And I woke up on Thursday, which is a rest day, and on rest days I'd do cardio and abs and stuff. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. Like, and also, like, I'm in the gym every single day. Obviously, I like pretty much have to be there. And I had a day off the gym. I was like, I literally don't have to go to the gym for the first time since like Christmas, since the Christmas break. So I'm actually just not going to go into the gym. And like also when you own the gym, like you have to chat to people a bit more and stuff. So like I didn't go into the gym. I like did less steps. I felt incredible. I slept amazing. Session the next day was great, and my body weight's just been dropping like easily. And it's like it's so easily said like less is more, but like it actually is when you've done this enough times. I feel like when it's like when you've not done it enough times, you know you're scared of fatigue the second you feel any kind of hunger or you have a bit of a difficult session or whatever. But when like us guys now, we've prepped like a few times and like you know we've done it. You know the difference between like when your body is fighting you and when you just need to push on a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I think you need to go through the prep that we both have where you just take it way too fucking far. You have to take it way too far to learn where far enough is.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
scares
And
you
then
to like not do it again.
Do you know, like, as we're saying this, our less is still more than most people's, like, max.
Yeah.
So, like, it is all very relative. You both... I've done preps where I've pushed it really hard, but I've pushed it hard on a men's physique front. You guys have done it on a different level, and you do need to have those shit preps and them, like, really fucking hard dieting periods to be able to, well, yeah, just kind of know where your sweet spot is. I think that there's value in, like, you know, even if you're a first timer or, you know, you've competed a handful of times, just pushing it to that limit to know what that feels like. I think it'll make you. I think it can make you a better athlete. Like I said, Jack, you're a different fucking beast this year, mate. It is actually mad how mature you have become over the last 12 months.
Yeah,
and that's come from, you know, fucking up.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of value taken from it if you do it the right way. And I know this is why I look back on last year like so fondly. I'd so much rather have that year gone the way it did than like next year or this year or the year after when like stakes would hopefully be higher at that point. Sure, there was a lot of expectation, but it was just expectation. You know, I'd never actually. I think it's worse to have won a pro show and then you absolutely shit the bed for a season versus you just shit the bed for your season in the first one. That's learning is when most people do shit the bed. So, yeah, no, I'm grateful for it in a weird way. And excited not to shit the bed this year. You know, we'll put that on record.
So, like, I don't see you as egotistical like, at all. But do you feel like you have less of an ego after last year? So, like, for myself, like, I don't think I was ever that egotistical, but I learned so much from the prep where I fucked myself up that, like, now I'm like, fucking hell, I was an idiot. Like, I think when I was younger, you think you're, like, indestructible. You know what I mean? You just think, oh, I can do loads of cardio, loads of steps, food be on the floor, and I'll still be able to train well. And, like, it doesn't fucking matter. I can do anything. But, like, then I realised, like, oh, fuck, I've, like, properly fucked myself here. Like mentally and physically, and then like now I'm like, oh, I'm a lot more open to like other people's opinions, and like I won't just shut people down. Like, but I think in the past I would have been like, nah, mate, I know what I'm doing, and then I proved to myself that for myself I didn't. Just because I got people in great shape, my clients, it's not the same doing it for you. So like, do you feel like you've not that you ever had a massive ego, but do you feel like actually, yeah, I'm willing to learn a bit more, and I know that I can always learn from other people and stuff?
Yeah, it's hard. I don't know if ego is the right word. Because I've always never, like even last year, my first YouTube video of prep, of the start of that prep, I literally say, right, I'm doing Detroit. Realistic expectations, what I want and think I can achieve, top 5 in Detroit. That's what I'm shooting for, and that's what I got. I placed exactly where I thought I was going to. Some people would argue, like, oh, if you said you were going to place top 3, you might have done because of manifestation, all that bollocks. It's like, Yeah, probably not. So I was realistic there. I think the last year really kind of just proved there's so many different, like the more I do this, the more athletes I coach at the higher level, the more time I spend with people at the higher level, like Wesley, Jose, like Chris, Ryan. Seeing like I was with Ryan when he was 4 weeks out from the Olympia this year. I sat at dinner with him, Chris, talking and discussing their mindset at that point. It's like you just see that there's different levels to it, and everyone's different. Like Ryan Terry is 4 or 5 weeks out from the Olympia. Sat there chatting to me like, "Oh, I was peak off season." He's like, "This was at Lift London at Gymshark." He's like, "Have you brought your meals with you?" I was like, "Yeah, I've got pretty much most of them with me." He's like, "Oh yeah, I probably should have done that." I was like, "How much have you actually eaten?" He's like, "Don't really know at the minute, mate. I just kind of go by feel and this sort of stuff." And it's like he's done this for what 15 to 20 years. He just knows. And he was bang on. He was bang on at the Olympia, perfect. And it's like he was 4 or 5 weeks out, just chilling at Lift London, like trying to just work out what to eat from the hotel breakfast and this sort of shit. And it's like he nailed it. I think that's opened my eyes a lot to like my biggest fuck up last year was just the stress. I was sat there before going out to America calculating the iron content in Rice Krispies in USA versus the UK and working it out to the fucking milligram and like having spreadsheets of this shit. And it's like, it's great and all, probably didn't need to do that, mate. Probably should have just stuck to like your fucking normal food that you could bring from home or whatever. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was stress last year. And seeing the implications that has, and then like even this year, like last year I was so stressed about weight cap, but I was tiny, so I was worrying. And today I was speaking to Jose, who's 125 kilos, and his high day, which he only has twice a week, is 500 grams of carbs total, and he's peak off season, and he's got to pull off 24 kilos to make weight for classic. And it's like you see that, and it's like when they're dropping like 9 kilos to make weight in peak week, just water. It's like, yeah, shit me, there's levels to this. I should just enjoy where I'm at and like enjoy this prep where I'm not going to have to pull off fucking 9 kilos to make weight. You know, it's going to be very easy compared to what a lot of the lads do. So it's like, yeah, it's been eye-opening. Just, there's so many different approaches. I think you're always looking at like, what can you do to be better? What can you do to this? And it's just like, just enjoy where you're at and just trust the process this year. Do it to the best of your ability and enjoy it. And then you'll learn from it. But don't get caught up obsessing over, should I have fucking do this cardio today or Stairmaster or bike or, you know, just, yeah, I don't know. I could go for hours about it.
Yeah. What are your expectations of this year then? You know, last year the aim was top 5 in Detroit. Where do you think that you're going to fall?
Changes. It does change. It's hard to say at this point. I don't actually know who's doing the show. I've not looked at any of the shows. I know people jump in last minute, especially like FIBO, because a lot of people are there for sponsor obligations anyway. But if I want to win a show, that's absolutely certain. So we've got 3 planned at the minute. We may do more after. We'll see how the first 3 go. With the qualifications now, you have to win 2 shows or get points. So I'd like to. I'm very confident in the fact I will be at the Olympia at the end of the year. So whether that's points or whether that's winning 2 shows, obviously I want to do it on winning 2 shows. Same as like when you win a pro card, I think you should have to win the overall to win a pro card. You know, I don't think the Olympia on points is as worthwhile. Would I absolutely take it on points? Fucking too right, I would. But at the same time, you kind of go into the Olympia then knowing you're going to be outside the top 30 realistically, which cool, but not competitive. So yeah, I want to win 2 shows. Do I think I'll be winning New York and Pits? None of the athletes that are doing it, no. First call out at New York and Pits is the absolute goal. That's, you know, that would probably mean more than winning the show. I think to stand next to those guys and like actually be comparable, not just be on like the outside of the call out, like yeah, you're good enough to be there, but we're really looking at these 4 guys. It's like to actually be looked at with those guys is the target. But at the same time, there's a lot of, as I said, people who've been to the Olympia before. The judges know them, recognise them. So it's just about getting noticed and getting in front of Tyler, Steve, and those top judges, because I never have yet. The show last year they weren't judging either of them, so it's just getting your name out there, getting your profile out there, and doing the circuit basically, and getting better each year and showing those improvements. Then they take notice, and then year after year it climbs. I think you get freaks that burst on the scene and smoke pro scene. I think a lot of people think I'm one of those freaks, but it's actually, if you look at my career, it's like I've never burst on really any scene. Before I turned pro, I'd done 14 shows. From a social media perspective, it looks like I just like randomly come out of nowhere and did a Spain pro. I've done 14 shows, I've done 4 preps, 4 years of prepping. And then this year it's what, be like my 18th, 19th show. Whereas you look at most pro like Matt Gregor and people, I think they've only done like 10 or 12 shows in their life. I think Derek had won the Olympia after only like 8 or 9 shows. So it's like, it's one of them.
What the fuck?
You just got to climb the ranks and enjoy it. It was really this year. But yeah, basically win a show, win 2 shows, and then place top 5 at New York and Pittsburgh. I forgot then.
What have you got to do if you were to get there on points? Like, how many points do you need? And
it's the first year they've done it, so we don't know. I do think the points will change. I think there's a little disparity in that. I think if you come 4th at New York on Pits, there's like certain shows that are tier 1 shows. So Arnold US, New York, Pittsburgh, Romania, and Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, are the tier 1 shows. So obviously you get more points for placing higher at those. So if you come 4th in one of those, you get 9 points. Whereas if you win any other show, it's only 10 points. So 4th is near enough equivalent to a first place at a different show. Which when you look at like Tampa and Texas Pro and these massive pro shows, it doesn't really seem too accurate. So I think it will probably change, but this year we don't know. I would imagine 20-ish points, because the thing is, you've got to remember, most people that win a show, they will just go and win a second show. And I think it's top 25 on points after that. So, yeah, it's so hard to say. There will just be those like mad European guys that just fucking do 30 shows and just clock up like 10 fifth places and do it that way. So basically we don't know. We'll just wait and see. I think if I'm not knocking on the door to win a show, in my heart I won't want to just carry on doing a load of small shows because I'll be like, I'm 24, I should just go away and get better. What's the point in getting to the Olympia to come 42nd when I could spend that time getting better and be patient and think about the long term? So it's a hard one to answer. I don't know. We'll see. Focus is win a show, win FIBO, and go from there.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of thinking about it. Don't try and win it through points, because like you say, it's like, what's the point? That's good. Like you're so young as well, aren't you? Like, it's not like your last hurrah. Like, oh, I want to get to the Olympia and then I'm going to stop. It's like, no, like I'm pretty fucking good at this. Like, if I'm going to get to the Olympia, I want to be good. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's how you should be thinking, which is cool.
Hey, I've got a question. Do you reckon anyone has ever gone from a UK DFBA novice show to the Olympia?
Did you think when he said I've never burst on the scene, I thought, you have UK DFBA?
Yeah, UK DFBA, mate. I saw those photos. I shit my pants. But, I'm really glad that this kid did the day before the one that I was doing. Great weekend.
Yeah. What a time.
Well, it's like Sean Clarida is like the biggest, like most known for being like a good natty, but like he actually stayed natty for quite a while, I think. Whereas obviously Jack, he didn't. He just went straight enhanced.
He was never natty in the first place, bro. He just cheated.
From the womb, mate. No. I did my time as natty, like a 18-month stint. And then thought, fuck this shit. This is no fun.
I don't want to wear a nose strip.
Yeah, my testosterone is -3 after dieting for 12 weeks. This is dog shit.
I remember, like, obviously I'd seen you at that show. I hadn't seen you in person because it was a weird COVID show. But obviously I competed at the same show. And then, like, I'd watched the live stream and, like, saw that you'd won. And like, I thought, oh, he looks good. Like, he's got good shape and stuff. But I didn't think, like, you were anything overly special. It was just like, oh, yeah, he's pretty good. And then I know the next year you were against Reese at the Arnolds. And I remember being like without being a dick, me and Reese were like, you're going to beat Jack. I was like, what? Like, no, I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's made that much progress. Like, I hadn't seen any physique updates or anything. Like, I hadn't really followed you. And then we saw you in Ultraflex, but again, you were like training. And I remember just thinking like, nah, like you'll beat him. And then when you were like actually like posing, I think you were like pumping up backstage, or when you were posing, I was like, fucking hell, he's actually like, how has he grown that much in the space of like a year? And then obviously you ended up winning. We actually got like a lot of questions. Josh, did you get many questions? Because I got quite a lot of questions.
I think I got 6.
Most because Josh, you put me on your
people weren't bothered, mate,
for a Q&A for your podcast.
Yeah,
I'm like the third host of their podcast, you see. So
yeah.
Why is it still not do very well then, Josh? Why has it not got like loads of views?
Because Jack never puts it on his story. That's the thing. Finn, you'll see this. We'll do this wonderful podcast, and then Jack won't tell anyone. It'll be a secret.
He's got like I know what he's doing. He's got one of them. He's like 3 stories a day, so they all get crazy views, and then he'll just randomly be like, "Oh, I'm coaching, by the way, guys," and then bang.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
he's farming it. He's like Reese, but doing it proper.
Yeah, he's not aura farming. No one can aura farm like Reese. Right, so I got quite a lot of questions that were relating to yourself and Reese because I think people thought Reese was going to be on. However, he's not. But I'm going to ask a couple of them anyway and see what you think. So, Reese men's physique versus Jack men's physique. Who wins? Obviously, we saw that happen and Jack won.
Probably neither of us at this point would both be fucking on the outside of the last call out, either side.
I think Reese still thinks he's the men's physique guy deep down.
Jack, I don't think you'd fit in board shorts.
I still hit. My front shot's not horrendous. It looks a bit ape-like because I've actually got big arms now. But the shape's not too bad. I hit it with Ryan at Lift London. He was impressed. The back shot's still horrendous, even after 5 years of trying to grow it. Looks right in a back double, but like a back relaxed in board shorts would just not be the one. So, yeah, I don't think either of us. I think everybody would lose there.
Yeah.
Maybe I would beat them.
Hopefully.
Put that out there.
Almost definitely, mate.
I think you probably would.
I'll take it.
Especially in a natural drug testing show, you would.
This is also related to Reese. Which comes first? Reese qualifies to the Olympia in Open, or Jack comes top 3 in Classic?
I don't think Reese is ever going to go to the Olympia.
You're going to have to clip that up.
Well, I was going to say, so I don't think either is at the point where that's even conceivable. Maybe Reese has said it probably is for him, but like, I don't think like when I'm at the point where I'm going to be competing for the top 3, what's that top 3 going to look like? Will Classic's weight cap have probably changed again? Yeah, probably, with like and all this shit. So it's like, I don't know. I think Reese will be shocked if he will turn pro. Absolutely, he will turn pro. I don't think he's overly far from that. I think he needs a bit more size in certain areas. I think he will be in for a serious shock when it comes to competing as a pro level Open. I think he's 6 to 7 years away from doing that at a competitive level, if it's even genetically possible for him in the nicest way. And that just goes for anybody. Like Reese is phenomenal, but like, fuck me, you spend I don't know how to describe it. It's you see Kuba. Kuba's done this for so fucking long, has elite genetics, has pretty nice shape, does not miss a beat, and still is barely scraping top 10s in pro shows. So yeah, this
standard is in Open. It is unbelievable. Like you go to a PCA like pro show and you look at it and you go, oh, they're all really good. The IFBB's then like a completely different beast. Like Reese would have to get ginormous. He'd have to turn into that fucking neck guy.
Yeah,
26.
He'll be
27.
No, he's 27. Yeah.
27. So you look at, I mean, he's still got time, but most of the Open guys that really are like that elite level, they're already smashing it by like 30. And Reese in 3 years is not at the Olympia. So I don't know. It's a big ask for both of us to achieve either of those, is the bottom line. I need to even get to the Olympia, and Reese needs to get a pro card. So
I feel like for you, it's almost a little bit more conceivable because you've actually been against some of those guys. Like you've competed against Wesley, you've posed next to Niall, who
even Wesley's never been top 3 at the O though.
No, but I mean, like he's been in the Olympia, he's won big shows. You know, what I mean, he's been in that. Like he's been sometimes in and around the big names, and you've competed against him. You've competed like stood with Niall and posed with Niall and stuff. Whereas with Reese, it's like a little bit hard to say because he's not even done like a 2-bro show. You know what I mean? Like he's not done that as an attempt to win his pro card. But I also think like genetically, Reese is good from like a structural standpoint. Like he's always been very, very wide, like in terms of his shoulders. Like he is like Josh, like you said when you seen him in person when you came and trained with me, you were like, fucking hell, like he's big, like because
there's a lot of him.
Yeah. Like from a frame standpoint, like he is big, but so are a lot of the guys. You know what I mean? Like there's like I saw Samson at that seminar, and it's like, what the fuck is that? Like makes Reese. No offense to Reese, it's Samson, but he makes Reese look like very small. And Reece is huge. Like Reece is massive. Like anybody in the gym that sees Reece, like what the
He's
fuck?
£300, isn't it? It's like he's
Yeah.
big, but it's just a different. There's it's the density, or it's the front to back thickness. Reece is very, very wide, but shallow through the chest and even the back. Like his back's come up a fuckload, done really well. But you put that next to like Joe Palacio or some of these guys that still can't qualify for the Olympia, and he looks like a child. So it's just like the levels are, yeah, it's mental to conceive. It's not shitting on Reece. It's just like actually giving props to. I don't think people understand the level of what open Olympians. I think it's so much easier to qualify for the Olympia as a classic guy than it is to qualify for the Olympia as an open guy. The open guy, you have to put 10 to 15 years into it and have top 0.1% genetics.
I have a question, Jack. In the long term of your bodybuilding career, do you ever see a world where you are going out of the classic division into something else? And if yes, where do you think you could potentially end up?
In terms of the open, I don't know if that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah, open or 212. Definitely not men's physique.
My classic weight cap's 212, so it's like,
Yeah, no,
Ah, right.
he's not
I'm
short.
gonna struggle
You're not short either. Like
Nah.
I think because you've got such a nice X frame, you do look quite short. Like in your like Instagram photos and reels, like you look quite short, but in person, you're not short.
No, so well, my weight cap might be 219. It was 219 in Detroit, but then we're assuming it's probably going to be lower after the mic stuff. So it's either 219 or 212 for classic. But with open, I don't know. If I was like, I was literally, as I said, I was speaking to Jose today about him, where he's at, where food's at compared to what he's got to do, and it's like, if I was at that point with Urs, like Urs was, and like Jose's at now, I don't think I would enjoy it doing classic, but I also don't know if I'd want to go open, so I don't know. It's so hard to, obviously their brand is built with classics, so they're so inclined to stay because they're worried about, you know, all the sponsorships and the fan base and the support, so they feel obliged to stay. But then you see Urs switch and it like blew up and did fantastic. So like, if I was in that position, maybe I'd go open, but I don't know if I'm genetically that kind of person. It's so hard to say. I'm 23 right now. Do I have any aspiration to go open? Absolutely not. I don't want to be that big. I don't want to have to push my body to that point. You know, peak off season I get to like 250 at the minute, and this year was quite a comfortable 250. The year before was a more uncomfortable 250. But put 25 pounds on that is still not going to be anywhere near enough for open, and it's like that's going to feel awful. And I started this younger than most. Do I want to be carrying on till I'm 35, 40? Not particularly. So for me, ideally, I want to stay classic, have a good career. I want to be competitive, winning shows. If I reach the point where like I'm still not really pushing top 10 Olympia, I'm at my weight cap, I'm killing myself year in year to keep my weight down. I can't eat in the off season. I can't, you know, enjoy it for what bodybuilding actually is, what we all started it. Then maybe I'd look at shifting, but if I'm already nearly 30, then why would I? I don't know. So it's so hard to say. Right now, focus is classic and be a good classic. If I was in Urs's and Jose's position, I don't blame them if they did want to go open, or in Urs's case, they did go open. But I don't have any immediate goals or desire to pursue that.
I feel like once you do that, it's like just so much more time and like from a health standpoint as well. Like I feel like not that how like our classic is healthy, like I'm not saying that, but it is a next level in it, and like you say, you'd have to like really
not even just from like a PED standpoint. Like, I'm sure a lot of the open guys, they don't run. I'm sure classic guys and open guys probably run similar. It's just the carrying the excess body weight. Like the body weight is so detrimental to your health, and the mobility and the feeling of that. And like, I just wouldn't want to be that heavy. Like I fucking hate it. So yeah, I'm happy with classic. I like classic. I'm a big fan of open. Like I'm probably like the biggest fan of bodybuilding out of like us and Reece. I think I just watch it, keep up with it the most. I don't even know if Reece is that into actually the depth. I think he just likes doing it.
He just likes Instagram, mate.
Reece is like,
yeah, I just
and followers.
yeah, I don't. There's just something I couldn't do it myself, but I love to watch it and enjoy it. Like, I don't not say I couldn't do it myself, but I don't know if I'd want to right now, for sure.
Yeah. Very important question from a guy called Jack Morrison. Jack, would you rather, fuck, marry, kill, me, Finn, and Reece?
Oh, difficult one. It's not at all. I'd kill Reece. Finn, you're quite handsome at the minute with your curtains.
I'm a good-looking lad, mate. I am.
And I just
And the nose
take
strip.
advantage of you in the bedroom, so I'm gonna fuck you. And Josh, we're near enough married already. To credit to Josh, I'll give him credit on the podcast. He had to come around to my house the other morning at like 8 a.m. to help me carry a mirror into my studio in the garden. So we're basically a married couple already because he's already helping me with my chores and stuff. So I'll marry Josh.
Yeah, you are a
Cheers,
good mate. You two, aren't you? It is nice. That's how Josh got his Gymshark sponsorship.
I feel bad for him at the minute, so he needs someone in his life that.
Thank you, mate. I'm glad that someone wants to marry me.
We all feel bad for you, mate. How's this week been?
Oh, this week's been good. I'm in a new setup in the office, office, because one of my friends has moved into the flat to make sure that I don't kill myself. No, I'm joking.
Make sure you stuff.
Is that question? Yeah. There's that. So yeah, life is good. I feel like we're getting some good positive momentum.
Nice. What is it? I was gonna say, is it one of your football boys that's moved in?
No. It's actually an old client that I became really good mates with, and then he was living in Sheffield, and he kind of half got evicted. So I said, "Oh look, I've got a spare room. Do you want to take it? Like, free of charge because I'm such a nice guy." He actually said tonight, he was like, "Oh, can you tell Jack that I'm a massive fan?" So George, my friend, is a massive fan. There you go. Told him.
Thanks, George.
Yeah. So he moved in last week, and yeah, just chilling. Good time.
Nice, bro. It's good to hear. Isn't it weird? Like, Jack, you actually do have people who are like massive fans. Like, oh my god, like Jack Eagles. Like, that is crazy, isn't it?
I don't think I do though. They're just like, because
Are you kidding me?
No. I think this is where like I'm very like, because I've been at Expos and like, yeah, it's really cool now that like I'm going to Challenge UK and I've got a meet and greet on the main stage and I'm going to like FIBA and all that, and I had a meet and greet at the Olympia and shit. Like, that's sick. But then I'm stood there and then I've got like Wesley and Urs next to me, whose lines are just like 4 times the length and never ending. And then I'm like sat with Sam, and then Sam Phillips got his 4th 2-hour meet and greet of the day. And it's like, there's levels to this. Like, so I think it keeps it grounded. It's cool, but like, everybody's a human. It's like people just stand there and like speak for some advice and want to tell you about their stuff, and it's just cool to hear. It's not like I don't think bodybuilding influencer level is like, unless you like Chris, then it's like celebrity fan base, which I think people can be a bit weird. But I think at my level now, it's just quite nice because everyone just watches the YouTube and they feel like they know you, so they speak to you as if you know them, which sometimes can be a bit weird, but most of the time it's just kind of cool. And then nobody's like weird or like touchy or fucking like, it's all pretty. I'm at a nice point, I think, where everyone's like just actually quite down to earth and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not like that point when you get there.
Like, people just want to have a chat with you. It's not like, you're not getting like grabbed and like having to have like security guards yet.
No, literally. So I think it's quite a nice point.
But people get so excited when they see you. Like when I were at the Gymshark lift thing, and like people were queuing up to see Jack, and they're getting hyped up and trying to keep the cool. Like, I'm going to go and ask him this.
Down, they realise how like introverted and socially inept I am.
But that's the funny thing, right? You're stood there like Mr. Cool, and they're trying to play it cool, but they're like exploding inside. Honestly, I think it was one of the nicest things that I've witnessed. Just like how excited people are to see the most normal person in bodybuilding. It's class.
But everybody's normal as well, like you say. Like, Ryan Terry will feel like that. You know what I mean? He'll be like, I'm just a normal guy, and like he is. Like, when I've met Ryan Terry, he's like, his sound. He's just, you don't think of him as nobody really is like any fucking different. You know what I mean? Everyone's just sound. Like, even Samson at that event, like, people just chatting to him. He's just a nice guy. Like, obviously, you're not going to be a twat when you're literally there to meet and greet people. But like, most people are just nice, down to earth, and they're just good at what they do. You know what I mean? Like, Samson's a really good bodybuilder, so people like him. But he's just like anyone else.
I think that's the thing with bodybuilders as well. It's like, we all got notoriety or well known from just doing something we enjoy. We never did this to get notoriety. We did this because we enjoy it, and then our content's very authentic and people resonate with that. And then you get like the influencer side of like, let's say, Gymshark athletes. There's nobody specific, but like, they started posting with the intent of getting that notoriety, and then that maybe is when then some like ego gets involved with it and they're a bit different. But I think literally any bodybuilder I've met that's big or well known, they're all just the exact same as us. They make the same jokes, they find the same shit funny, they're as down to earth, they all have a laugh. It's like everybody's so normal. And I think that's also changed for me. It's like just the whole, just everything. It's a lot more standard and not as fucking Hollywood as it all may seem.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go through some more questions. Will Jack be in Prague this year? And then it says on EVLS.
The EVLS Prague Pro show. I don't know. I've thought about this because if I do the Olympia, I'm not just going to prep to do the Olympia. I will do shows around it to then try and qualify for the next year so that I can actually get a good off-season in. Would one of those shows be Prague? Probably not. I think that's a bit of a difficult one to pick.
Why not?
Oh, it's like it's the to this day it's the coolest show I've been to. Like the best atmosphere, best fucking just sick. Obviously it was the year Chris did it, so it's kind of probably Chris tax applied. But even last year I watched the live stream and stuff, and it's just such a cool show. But I think it's also quite a lot after the Olympia because the Olympia's early this year, so it'll be like a 5-week gap or something like that. But I might be there. It depends on the lineup to watch. I might compete there if I'm actually good. We'll wait and see. So there's maybe. I also love Prague. Prague itself is like such a cool place. So maybe, yeah, why not? Fuck it. Let's put my name on the list. I'm in.
Suki, clip it up. Confirmed.
How did Jack believe in himself so much from such a young age? Was it a relentless want or, and then just a question mark?
I don't think this guy's ever watched any of my content.
Is that Reese?
No, it's someone called
Danny Howarth.
DS Tob Trains. So how do you believe?
Well, yes. I'm the most pessimistic, realistic, shit on myself person ever. Probably to a detriment sometimes, but it also keeps you nice and grounded in, like, I think for me it just keeps me always working because I'm always like, oh shit, I need to get better. Like you open your Instagram, you see Naz doing this, it's like, fuck, I need to be on that level. So no, I've never really from a bodybuilding perspective, I have confidence in my ability and I'm not naive to the fact like, yeah, okay, I've got the genetic potential to do well. But tons of people have really good genetics. Everybody at this level has elite genetics. Doesn't make a fucking difference. You just still have to put the work in. And I enjoy putting the work in. So I think that's why I've made such good progress, is because I just enjoy it. Not because I've got some self-belief that I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. It's like, even if I wasn't competing and I didn't have a following or anything like that, I'd still be eating the meals I eat and I'd still go and train the way I train because it's what I love. So it's like, it's a nice benefit that I can make in my career, I guess. So yeah, no, I've not always had some crazy self-belief. Maybe a bit of blind faith that I'd be able to make money within the industry. But even to this day, bodybuilding's not really an income. It's just stuff around bodybuilding that's leveraged by social media or by coaching.
Yeah. So. I was actually chatting to my sister earlier about that. Like, obviously, like, coaching is my sole income. But like, even like doing stuff like this is work, really. But it's not, like, this doesn't feel like work. We're all just chatting, you know what I mean? But it is, which is crazy. And like, it's the same with like other podcasts that I do, even like owning the gym. Like, now and again I'd take a step back and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? I'm just doing what I enjoy doing every day, and like somehow I'm doing all right. And it's like, obviously, Jack, you're on that level, but like obviously a lot more in terms of like social media and obviously the level that you're at within bodybuilding. But like Josh, you know, in terms of like how, I guess you've been in it probably the longest, Josh. Like when you first started.
God, I'm so old and so behind everyone.
Would you have ever expected to be at this point? Like, we spoke about it on another podcast. I think it was just Lorna, it was just me and Reese. And we were like, when we started coaching, it wasn't even coaching, it was literally just like helping your mates out. Yeah. To then get to the point where now it's like you earn a good living and you have other businesses, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, and I think people think that we all have this crazy self-belief or we've got it all worked out. Like, no, we just show up every day and keep working hard at what we like doing. And we've done well, luckily, because we've worked hard.
Yeah, I don't even think I started coaching to make money. I think I just started it because it just seemed like the right thing to do. Like, I enjoy bodybuilding, I enjoy training, and if I can help someone do that themselves, then wonderful. And yeah, obviously, you know, we've spoke about this in person. Like we are probably the first generation that's been able to have this job, and you know we've all got this opportunity. Like us guys have got this opportunity. We may as well take it with both hands and see what we can do with it. So it just all feels like a massive privilege, and that's never been lost on me.
Yeah, I think like timing as well, like, is a massive aspect of it. Like, I think we've all done well in regards to like the timing that we got into it. Like we've said before, like when me and Reece started the podcast, like that was just perfect timing. It was COVID, people were bored, they were sat at home. We spoke a bit about coaching, and it was like, right, we got like a lot of clients from it and stuff. And I think now everybody, like we said before, gets into it because they want to be a coach instead of just because they enjoy coaching or they enjoy bodybuilding. They get into it because they want 200,000 followers, or they want to earn, they want a sponsorship with Gymshark, instead of like, no, that's a byproduct of what I just enjoy. And that's like why, like you say, Jack, I think there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's people who like I just, let's say, don't resonate with online because they're fake as fuck. And you can see straight through it, you know what I mean? And then like they end up doing well with that fake persona and then have to keep it up, and then they're miserable. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine trying to, like, Jack, imagine at a meet and greet, all day you got to be this fake personality that you are on YouTube. And every time you film a YouTube, you've got to be this fake person. And like, especially now when you're 10 weeks out, fuck that. You know what I mean? Or 7 weeks out, whatever. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? You can't keep it up, and then people see through it, and then you start to either deteriorate, or you become one of those people that are like, oh, he wasn't very nice in person when I met him. He's not like he is online. It's like, you don't want to be that person.
Yeah, I think also you'll date yourself if you do that. If you're a fake person, you'll be a trend, and then you'll drop off when they move on to someone else. And then you see the people that are there for years, decades, like Ryan, for example. It's like, because he just is him, and people resonate with him, not with this persona he's putting on. So I think, yeah, you could do a short money grab and be this person, but I think long term it's not very rewarding.
Right, I'm going to have one last question because I know we want to finish in the next like 5 minutes. This is actually quite a good question, and it might take something, like, you might have to think about it a little bit. For all
Is it the question?
No, actually, we need to finish on that. But for all of us, Josh, why have you got a list of stuff you've done this week?
I've been thinking about it.
Live with a man now.
Yeah, I was about to say he's got a male housemate. If fucking anything goes here.
Guys, I have got a list of things that I've done that meet the criteria.
Right, so this is just one of the last listener questions, and it's quite a good one. What is the last shot you took that failed? Josh, marriage?
Take some thinking.
There was a time when I dropped down on one knee and it didn't end very well.
Laugh about it.
Oh dear.
I think that is actually a good question. Like, there will be loads, but like, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I feel like sometimes things just fall into place, and like even like with the decision about like starting coaching, starting the gym, starting an Instagram, like I think a lot of the time it does work out if it's something that is true to you and you enjoy it and you want to do it. But I'm trying to think if there's anything that I've done recently where I've gone, why the fuck have I done that?
There's one that's jumping out to me, and it was in my early days. I have the smallest following out of anyone that would ever come on this podcast, and I was just starting to build some momentum with it, and a clothing brand sponsored me and Tom. You know the one?
Yeah.
Yes. That was hands down the biggest L that I've ever taken. Like, it had no... I think everyone knows the story of it, but it just made me like that. It was such a massive L. I still regret doing that now, and that like we're still like 2 years on from it. Fucking mental.
But that's also good that you've got that sort of experience. You can speak about it as well and be like, oh yeah, probably we shouldn't have done that actually, because like I remember the same brand were on about sponsoring me and Reece, and like I had a few people reach out and talk about what they thought to the guy, and they were like, I don't think you should, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, and they're people who I respect and ultimately I like trust their opinion, so it was almost like, right, okay, I get that. But I think in terms of like a specific shot that I've taken that's failed, I mean my last prep, that was awful. That failed. I mean, I'm still a British champion somehow. Like, how the fuck, I don't know. But I'm going to for the rest of my life. Mate, honestly, what the fuck? But yeah, that's my last shot that failed. And then people might not think it did based on like, oh, but you won some shows, and no, it failed. I looked horrendous, and I also like put myself in the bin for probably a good year.
Good times, but you learned lessons. Well done, mate.
That's what this podcast's about.
Learn from our lessons, guys. Jack.
I don't actually know. He's so hard because everything I.
Jack walks on fucking water. This kid's not missed for like, how old are you, Jack? 23 years.
The only one I could think of that was actually just idiotic that I should have done was, it wasn't even that though. I moved out from my parents at 19, lived in Rotherham for a year, then had to move house again basically from renting. And the house I then went to rent, I just rented a massive fucking 4-bed, 2 like double garage exterior, massive garden, and a really nice area in the nicer area of like Rotherham and that. And it was a lot of fucking money. The bills were massively high. The landlord was an absolute twat, it turned out, and I was stuck there for like 16 months until I could eventually buy this place and move here. So that was stupid. I wish I just got, and I wanted to get a smaller place. To be fair, it was them that was like, we went and looked at one that I liked, and she's like, it's a proper rough area. Okay, maybe it was, but it's like I have white male privilege that I could go for a walk in the evening and I'm not going to get beat up really. Her as a female, yeah, okay, maybe I see a point. I was just like, just get a big dog and be fine. Ideally in my sight, I would have gone there, and saved a lot of money. Then because we went here, I ended up buying a house literally 2 minutes away from where I used to live. So I probably wouldn't have found this house if I didn't live there. So I guess it all works out, but yeah, that hurt my wallet and it was a shit house to live in. So that's probably the biggest one. First world problems. Lived in a massive house for a year and a bit.
And it's all M's fault, so that's great.
Yeah, I blame him. Besides that, I don't really know. Like, obviously, I would have done a lot different last prep, but at the same time, then I wouldn't have the mindset or the maturity I have now, so I actually wouldn't change it. But like, yeah, okay, a lot of the things in that prep were a fucking miss. So no, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there. And
that is a good way of like we like circling back to what we said at the start. Like, realistically, we don't regret the preps that we had because we've learned so much from it, and like we're better bodybuilders, coaches, people from it. So like, what's the last shot you took that failed? Like, none of them, because really, even if you do fail, you end up being like, well, actually, yeah, that was a bit shit, but like now I've learned this, and this, and like, I'm way better for it. So I guess for anybody wanting some nice motivation at the end of this podcast, no shots fail. They are learning curves. Like
some of them just take longer to hit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And the final question, which is really important, and let's hope that you guys don't get any issues with any sponsors. What's the gayest thing you've done this week, Jack?
This podcast has made me really happy. So this was very gay. Is my media trained answer. Sat on a few cucumbers. That's pretty gay. I was really hungry. Thought, fuck, go for a cucumber right now. Can't eat it. Calories. I'll stick on my ass.
We did get a question saying, in prep, do you prefer cucumbers up the bum or eating them? And then
It's because I don't know why. I said it on a YouTube video a while ago. I was doing like this video in Aldi, and I was just like, oh, best get a couple of cucumbers to sit on later. But then this YouTube video ended up being my best performing one, and it got like 80k views or some shit. So ever since, people are just like, you going to sit on that or are you going to eat it? And it's just stuck with me, and it's just a bit weird. Yeah. So no, I prefer to eat them, and I've not sat on any cucumbers this week anyway.
Okay. Josh?
I suppose moving a man into my flat was pretty...
By the way, that is definitely a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
I do. Hey, it's one of them. I'd do it with either of you boys. If you said, I need somewhere to live, I'd go, I've got a bed. I've got a double bed. Come and share my bed with me. Yeah, so that's quite up there. What else have I done? I've done a lot of flat pike. That's pretty...
That's quite manly, that.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
I don't like doing that. Like, I think that's hard work. It's like a bloke's job. Like,
oh, no, I've got a way better answer. I read books now. That is so fucking...
Yeah, is it Atomic Habits that you're reading?
No, I read that one before. I'm reading the fucking book I'm going to buy for Reese for Christmas. The Ego is the Enemy. That's what I'm currently halfway through. Jesus Christ, that would change his life. But in a weird way, it's kind of like, you know, when you have a little puppy and it's really exciting and cute and it's got a lot of personality, and then you get it like military trained and it just kind of loses everything you love about it. I think that would happen to Reese. If we gave Reese this book and he read it, we'd lose all the parts that fucking drive us up the wall, but also make Reese Reese. So maybe you shouldn't read it.
If Reese read a book, I think the world would end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two on go. I've got that reading one. I'm dyslexic as fuck, right? So I've just never actually read books since a kid. Like, I'm not like my sister and my whole family. They're really academic and love books and shit. I've just never been that way inclined. And so this prep, Em started reading. She's like, you should probably start reading. And again, all about this prep. I'm like trying to be less on my phone and less stressed. And I'm very aware that peak weeks this year are going to be brutal because it's weigh-ins at 7 p.m. and it means that all day I'm going to be in the sauna and I'm going to be basically lying down to stay as tall as possible and not eating and bored senseless. And the worst thing to do at that point is for me to go on the phone, because if I open Instagram, it's just all the usual shit. And that's what really fucked me up last year in peak weeks. So I was like, need something, should we start reading? And it's been good. So yeah, that's been a good one. And then I think it's Relentless by like Tim Grover. I've got that on audiobook during my cardio. That's got that from Chris. That's a very, very good one. I'd highly recommend that as well. So
I've got loads of recommendations for you.
They are pretty gay because they're all like self-improvement, like the most cliche fucking books ever. But they're the only ones that keep me like engaged. If I was reading like a random fiction book about fucking Johnny Pete fishing, fighting dragons, I'd be like, tuck off, mate.
Jack, do you do the top level dyslexic hack where you have the audio book in and read the physical book?
I have done, yeah. At this point, I have to buy the book on my iPad so that I can change the colour of the page, make the font really fucking big, and then I can read it. And then the audio book, obviously, I just listen to that. It's like a podcast. Cause,
nice.
All I do in prep is podcasts. It's the only thing I can like occupy my brain, but I go through them all. So that's why turns out audiobooks, guys, spoiler alert, they're basically podcasts. So I've just unlocked like a plethora of new things to listen to.
A lot of books.
Yeah. There are quite a lot of books out there, it turns out. I've been in a few bookshops this week and I'm like, fuck me, there's a fair few to go through there.
Yeah, you're going in bookshops.
Mate, a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. You'll have me on here in a few months and I'll start quoting like fucking...
Yeah, it's going to turn into Chris Williamson.
Every single question, every single sentence, you're like, oh, well, I read in this book, I read in that book.
Yeah, I'll just start dropping some stuff.
Marcus Aurelio on set.
My gay thing, I can't think of one because all I can think of,
stupid no strip on.
Yeah, this is pretty gay, and like I get asked about this all the time, and I forget that it's even on because I can't see it because I'm so used to having it on. Honestly, mate,
It's been on for 4 days.
I sleep in it and then wear it, and I take it off in the shower the night that I shower in the morning, but I don't get it off, and then I shower in the evening, and I take it off in the evening, and then I put a new one on and I just leave it on through the day.
You've not been offered a brand deal yet for them?
Yeah, I'm sponsored by.
Jack, you not listen to the podcast?
But
I've got a discount code.
Natural Physique Coaching sponsored by Nays, NPC 15 guys. However, these ones aren't Nays because I like wearing black ones in the day, and he just does blue Nays ones. But I sleep in if I sleep in a blue Nays one, but I actually have the blue Nays tape.
Oh, you best hope and Natural Physique Coaching doesn't get big time, otherwise you're getting a cease and desist from the NPC and the IFPB.
Yeah, I know, NPC. What do you mean, hope it doesn't get big? It's fucking huge, mate. Have you not seen how
it's massive, obviously, but it's massive in a natural way.
Finn's going to take the NPC to court. They're going to get a cease and desist.
Yeah. My actual gay thing, and I did say it on the last podcast, but you guys weren't here. It was just me and Reese. Megan was at my house, and I went to blow out a candle because we have a candle on like the little like coffee table thing, and
that's gay as it is.
And I failed, so I didn't blow it out the first time, and I had to blow it out again. And I looked at her like, "Oh my god, she's gonna leave me," and she like laughed. She was like, "That's your gayest thing of the week." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh,
so like that was it really. And I also
that's class that from me
because I watch myself when I'm doing a podcast. Or I do my hair a lot on the podcast, and like we'll get sent the reels that get clipped up from the podcast, and like half the time I'm touching my hair, so that's a bit gay.
I don't want to say anything.
So yeah, that's that. Is that a wrap?
I'll
Jack,
fucking nail a chicken wrap right now. That sounds good.
Are you 4 minutes late for your meal, Jack?
I am, yeah. I've got to cook this one. I've got is it 20 grams extra carbs from like something in this meal, which is normally carb free. So
big.
So
is this meal free?
No. This is normally a carb free meal. Sorry, I said that wrong.
No.
6.
My ears.
6 meals a day, mate.
Fair play.
All right, wrap it up. Josh, do you want to be the outro man?
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna just give you some words of wisdom. If you want to be like anybody in this life, be like Jack Eagles.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.